Cost segregation is an incredible tool that not every CPA understands, not every CPA wants to get involved with, but it is a very standard tool within the IRS code that allows someone to take 25, 30% of the cost of the actual house or condo that they're renting out. So, for example, if you had a $300,000 purchase of a condo, and I'm going to eliminate land for just a moment. That would potentially give you about a $75,000 deduction first year. Well, that in California, for example, 40% of 75 grand, boom, that's 35 grand right to
Okay.
your pocket that you didn't have to pay.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Adam Remis, who is the owner of The Accounting Doctor. We're going to get into a lot of stuff to help you reduce those taxes, so it'll be a good one. Thanks for being here, Adam.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate the forum.
Yes, so how about you get into a little bit about your background?
Wow. CPA, been a CPA for about 28 years. And I've created a company that really focuses on tax advisory and tax preparation. We really try to lower taxes for all of our clients. And we love working with real estate professionals and even real estate investors because there's a lot of unique opportunities specifically for them to lower their taxes and really save and really save a lot of money
Yeah,
each year.
you're the guy people like coming to. You do a lot of good work for people.
Well, we try. We certainly try. And, with a virtual CPA firm, I'm based out of Phoenix, Arizona, but I have folks all over the country, about 10, 15 folks. It allows me to pick the best and the brightest and really have the ability to scale up very quickly instead of being such a regimented force of, I got to be within 20 miles for a brick and mortar. I have that ability to really expand and really find some quality folks. And that's what it's really about by building the business. Absolutely.
Amazing. So you guys do the tax prep and advisory. Are you actually filing the taxes for people? So is it
Yeah,
all
that's
inclusive?
that's part of the tax preparation. Absolutely.
Oh,
And the
amazing.
tax
Yeah.
advisory can include, in the very beginning, we love to meet with our clients at least once a year prior to the tax prep the following year. Most of our clients, we end up meeting 4, 5, 6 times a year on a regimented program. So we can understand what's going on with them and proactively not only design a plan, but then implement the plan to lower their taxes come April of the following year. That's what we love to do and what work with our clients on.
Yeah. What would you suggest? I know a lot of people kind of deal with their taxes right when they're supposed to. Maybe in like March, they meet with their CPA. What would you advise people to do?
Don't wait.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the time. This is the time to proactively sit in front of a CPA and say, hey, here's my projected income. Here's what I want to do. I've got clients who in fourth quarter almost every year buy a rental property. Why? Because if you implement it correctly, you can have huge tax savings the following year. And come April, that's their solution. I literally had one guy on December 31st close on a property the last year because what did he want to do? He wanted to implement one of our largest strategies, the cost segregation strategy. He was a real estate professional, and that allowed him to take huge amounts of deductions the first year.
Yeah, talk a little bit about cost segregation.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Cost segregation is an incredible tool that not every CPA understands, not every CPA wants to get involved with, but it is a very standard tool within the IRS code that allows someone to take 25-30% of the cost of the actual house or condo that they're renting out. So for example, if you had a $300,000 purchase of a condo, and I'm going to eliminate land for just a moment. That would potentially give you about a $75,000 deduction first year. Well, that in California, for example, 40% of 75 grand, boom, that's 35 grand right to your pocket that you didn't have to pay because you're on the upper echelon. You qualified for real estate status, for a real estate professional status, which basically means you have to have that as your primary job. You can be part-time somewhere else, but in order to qualify for real estate professional, you need to basically not be working at a full-time W-2. If you're not working at a full-time W-2, that gives you the opportunity to potentially work through and be a real estate professional. And I have, husbands work W-2 and then the wife doesn't. Well, then she could become the real estate professional. And the rules are fairly simple and broad about putting in the amount of time that you need to qualify as a real estate professional. But once you do, then you can buy a home and you can have huge amounts of deductions coming through the first year. And that allows some great, great tax flow and tax considerations and assistance for our
Wow,
client.
that's a really great thing to know. And you say that it's not standard for every CPA to suggest that.
Not everybody understands it, but there is plenty of cost segregation study firms out there online, $500, $750. You can do a comprehensive case study that will stand up for the IRS rules and regulations. And that will then allow you to take that huge amount of deduction first year.
Yeah, do you see the same things over and over? Maybe things that people don't really understand with this cost segregation, or maybe they mess up something? What
I
would that
think
look like?
I think what happens is folks use an online tool for a cost seg study, and they don't put the information about what carpet is, what details there are about that condo, and that can significantly adjust how much first year cost segregation benefits you actually receive. We've seen that over and over and over again. As well as not really even doing the cost seg. People just, oh, I'll take the 300,000, depreciate it over the 27 and a half years, and away we go. But that isn't maximizing your first year benefit. And that's why I've got clients doing this over and over and over again, buying at least one property to kind of lessen their load. And the idea is, hey, I'll come up with over 10 years, 10 properties. Well, that will be a retirement strategy to kind of maintain and manage that. Either they can, or they can have a property management company maintain it, have the renters pay down the mortgage, because that's basically what's happening, and work through and have solid assets coming through as a retirement strategy.
Oh, I love
It
that.
really
That's
works out really well.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I know that in the current climate with the new bill that was just passed, you're very optimistic about kind of some of the things that have come from that. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, it turns out that there was a lot of rules that changed with almost all these tax bills, but the Trump one big beautiful bill act, the BBBB Act, that allowed 100% deduction for first year, special deduction, depreciation. That allows you to take that first $75,000, just like I described, up to about 25% of the purchase price after you remove land. That allows you to take almost all of that 25% right off the bat. So instead of staggering it over a number of years, on a federal perspective, you can do that. Some states conform to federal rules, other states don't. So, for example, in Arizona, they don't conform. So you have to use 27 and a half years for the Arizona depreciation. But for federal,
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
you can certainly have a segment that will be characterized as 5 year, 7 year, 10-year property. All that can be bonus depreciation, and that's what's allowed to come through the rental real estate professional properties.
That's incredible. I mean, it feels like it would be very difficult to know all this information on your own without consulting a tax advisor.
Yeah, I think someone who really understands tax rules, who really understands how they can apply them to real estate, that's really what you need, especially in this environment. Nothing's ever easy. Nothing's ever easy.
Absolutely.
I
And what
wish
are
it was.
yeah, that would be great.
It would be so much easier, right? If it was. Maybe we wouldn't need CPAs that are customized and focused just like myself around real estate. You wouldn't need that necessarily.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, it's a little more challenging, so the accounting doctor can step in.
Absolutely.
What are some of your tips for people to once it's time to file their taxes, they're prepared and they don't have to go back and do a bunch of work. So maybe tax preparation time isn't as stressful. What are your tips about that?
Well, I think I would say, and not to harp on this, but if you've been working with a CPA throughout the prior year in 25, you wouldn't have the stress in 26 trying to gather up everything because you'd be having quarterly meetings, you'd be having ongoing meetings with that CPA that's proactively working with them. And you kind of have to be prepared to have those meetings because we'll say, hey, what are your revenues? What are your expenses? What's going on? So you'll end up having to chip away at the exercise of getting all that stuff put together throughout the year so you can proactively plan. It's all about proactively plan. If you're doing this in April of 26, well, you can't really plan for 25 because it's already done. It's already passed. It doesn't really help you. So you're in a frantic mode because it's kind of self-caused. You're not proactively working with that CPA to kind of have them assist you and guide you and mentor you to find the best solutions to lower that tax bill.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's good advice to really work hand in hand with your accountant or your tax advisor. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so as you work with real estate investors, what are some of the simple ways that you assist them in lowering income taxes?
Well, one is this cost segregation study that can happen the first year. The other is making sure that they're tracking everything that's appropriate for their rental business. There is you can use your home as part of a deduction. Get about a $1,500 deduction just right off the use of your home. You can really make sure that you're using and tracking all your mileage, tracking all of your expenses, tracking everything that's involved, tracking your cell phone, because that's the way the tenants get in front of you and make sure that that is a utility bill that's expensed off. Tracking makes it easier towards the end of the year, and really looking through all your expenses and all your bank statements to make sure you flow everything you can in those returns. That is a deductible, allowable expense that's working towards the production of the revenue.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Very good. And what are some of your tips for resolving IRS debt? I know that's another thing that you guys work with.
Yes, I have a specialty, a whole group that just focuses on resolving tax resolution debt. So it's really an ugly subject. No one wants to bring it up. But if you, Kristen, had a tax bill of $30,000, it's not like you're going to go out to your friends and say, oh, I got this tax bill of $30,000. It's the last thing you want to advertise and discuss. But we would come to your rescue in a passionate way and understand what happened. We would pull the transcripts from both the IRS and the respective states to figure out what they got on you. You got to understand what the other side has on you.
Yeah.
That's before you do anything. So our step one is create a plan. We pull transcripts. We figure out what the game plan is. And then we discuss that with you and say, okay, then part of second stage is going to be tax resolution. And that's going to cost X amount of dollars, but we're going to get rid of this. Either we can do an offer in compromise where we completely get rid of the debt or a portion of the debt, or we're able to work with our clients to say, you know what, maybe this is a partial installment agreement. Or maybe if you have lots of assets and money, you're not going to qualify for those rigid oriented programs. Maybe we just put you on a payment plan, a formal payment plan, so they stop harassing you and stop getting those love letters. I call them love letters. My clients hate them. They're collection notices, but I love them because it's more work for me because I always call them love letters. But still, my clients are like, oh, here you go. Here. Oh, thank you. I love my love letters. And then I deal and figure out what's going on. And then I move forward. And that's what my team's all about. We love it.
It's a very positive spin. I love it.
Why not, right? You got to call something letters that you get. Don't throw them away. There's very, very, very specific things you have rights to do once you receive those letters. But once the clock ticks past certain amounts of days, 15 days, 30 days, 45 days, you lose your appeal rights. You lose your collection rights. You lose all these different rights because you shoved them into a dresser drawer and you forgot about them. That's being silly. That's being stupid. That's not being proactive. Once you get the letter, talk to someone. Get help. And as one person said once I came to their rescue, it's like a big monkey just left their back.
Absolutely.
Just came off their back. Because unfortunately, the Internal Revenue Service is a monster. They are the biggest expense that anybody has. Income taxes. Think about it. Right? You go out for rent and you go out for mortgages. Those are big expenses and you always shop for them. Internal Revenue Service? Go to the CPA. Oh, what's my expense? Okay, here's my check. No one's thinking about this proactively. And that's what we preach. That's what we do. And that's what we love to work with our clients on.
Absolutely. And that was something that I'm glad you touched on because I do think a lot of people ignore these letters, hope they go away. And by the time they actually act on it, it might be too late for certain things. And it's so much better if you
Absolutely.
act right away.
Yep. Act right away. And, there's even a program for spouses, innocent spouse program. We've ended up getting a lot of these working with divorce attorneys where someone will come in. It could be the male man or the wife. Either one, doesn't matter. And they didn't know anything. They were just told sign and they signed and they weren't really involved. And now they have huge tax bills after the divorce decree occurs. We can come to their rescue and figure out how to segment and work through those problems and issues. And so we end up working with a lot of divorce attorneys to kind of make sure that that innocent spouse is protected and made sure that the individual makes whole on all the taxes that need to be incurred and filed appropriately and move forward. I got another case where husband and wife, they're separated, divorced, and part of the divorce decree, they realized the husband was doing a bunch of gambling. And gambling never got reported. Okay. Well, now both husband and wife have to sign the returns, but husband and wife came together and said, okay, we got to fix this. So part of the deal is the husband has to work with me to say, okay, let's get these returns filed appropriately. I pay for all the fees. I pay for all the additional income taxes, and wife is signing off, and I'm working through both attorneys as part of the process.
Wow. I mean, that's such an interesting part of it that I wouldn't even thought to ask about. That's
Yep.
fascinating.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And also with these notices from the IRS, I think maybe something I'd love for you to highlight. I know there's a lot of scams and a lot of people who try to prey on people, and I feel like the scams are getting more and more sophisticated. When is it, how does the IRS communicate? I would assume by mail. And like, what do people watch out for? And yeah, because and the other side of it, I think a lot of people just think things will go away with the IRS.
IRS will never call you. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the middle of an audit or the beginnings of a formal audit, they may call you. They may knock on your door, but they will never, 99% of the time, they'll never just randomly call you asking for personal information. Just not how it works.
Yeah.
Especially if you haven't been receiving these love letters. So the love letters are the key. Sometimes it's an automated service that just pumps these out, and they could be right or they could be wrong. You don't know until you investigate and figure it out. But there is a lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of people who talk about the Fresh Start program. The Fresh Start program, it turns out, is a program that's not new. It's been going on for 10, 20 years. It's been going on forever. It's the version of the offer and compromise. That's all it is. But there's a lot of scams out there. You really need a trusted professional who will walk you through and carefully have you go through a 2-step process. First, do a complete investigation. Understand where you're at. Second, propose then, here's my exact roadmap of how to solve this. If you've got that type of solution working, then at least you know it's much more of a reputable company than just saying, oh, I can fix your problem for $5,000 or $8,000 or $2,000 or whatever it is, without you having any knowledge, expertise, or understanding of your specific circumstances. And then when it comes to the states, it turns out the states are getting even more nasty. They are being even more aggressive, especially California. I know you said, Kristen, you're in California. They're very, very nasty. And so every state has its own process, has its own language, has all the different processes and different steps that need to be followed. And so we do that and come to their rescue as well for our clients.
That's incredible. Well, I think that's such a great note to end on. You've given such great advice and, practical ways for people to look at their business a little bit differently. So tell everyone where to find you, where to find the accounting doctor.
Well, just feel free to look us up at www.theaccountingdoctor.com. My email address I can certainly provide. It's my first initial, last name, A. Remis at theaccountingdoctor.com. And love to do, a free consult with anybody who's in your audience to kind of just understand where they're at and see if we can even help them. Love to assist in any way possible.
Well, that's amazing. I really encourage everyone to take advantage of that free consultation. I think that's an amazing thing to offer people. Well, thank you again. This has been great. And thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you got a lot of good information from this. I think there's a lot of great takeaways. So we will see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.